Is Avatar overrated or overhated? Or maybe a little bit of both? Welcome to Bite Size Bunny. My name's Tony, and today we're going to be talking about the 2009 sci-fi hit, Avatar. In Avatar, Jake Sully, an ex-Marine who lost mobility of his legs, gets sent to the planet of Pandora for a special mission. Once he gets there, it is revealed he'll be using a new technology to take control of the body of a Na'vi, the alien species native to the planet of Pandora. Jake must now use his avatar to venture out into the planet of Pandora and make contact with the Na'vi, and then he is supposed to be gaining their trust by learning their ways and their culture, and then reporting back to the company he's working for to update them on his relationships with the Na'vi. This is officially my first time making it all the way through Avatar. This film came out back when I was 10 years old, and I remember hearing so much hype surrounding this film at the time, but not being able to see it in theaters, so I was just kind of left intrigued to see what this movie was actually going to be. So when I did finally watch it for the first time, it was when it was released on DVD, and 10-year-old me tried 3 separate times to get through this film, and I just kept falling asleep because I found it to be incredibly boring. And after that third attempt, I just gave up on this movie entirely and decided it wasn't for me. Flash forward 16 years later, and while I was finally able to make it through Avatar for the first time, I'm still not in love with it. Jake Sully is such a one-dimensional protagonist. There's really nothing all that interesting about this character. There's never really any emotional depth that is shown with this character, and his character arc is about as predictable as it could possibly be. You can watch the first 15 to 20 minutes of this film and immediately know exactly where this story is headed, and by the time you get to the end of this movie, there are no moments or scenes that'll leave you going, whoa, I can't believe that happened. There are no surprises here. It is as safe as it can be. All of the characters are very one-note and tropey. There is no one that feels all that noteworthy here in this adventure, and a lot of these characters just feel like pieces that are being used to push the story forward instead of individuals that are living in this world. The performances aren't bad. They serve their purpose and they get the job done. I think the standout performances amongst this cast come from Sigourney Weaver and Zoe Saldana. They both give us some of the strongest scenes throughout the movie, and I also think they have the strongest chemistry with the other castmates they play off of throughout the film. The narrative feels like your typical generic good versus evil story. There's no surprises here. There's nothing all that revolutionary. It is so vanilla, and it relies entirely on the cool visuals to kind of get by here. And I will say, I do like the world of Pandora. I think the plant and wildlife are especially cool here. The Na'vi have the makings to be interesting, but despite this film being 3 hours in length, they never truly dive into these characters. There's potential, and I hope that potential comes to fruition in the next film, but again, they are just so focused on showing off the power of the motion capture technology that they forget to flesh out these characters. This is one of those movies that I'm kind of surprised by the fact that there really isn't that much to talk about with it, especially with how much it's been built up over the years. When this movie came out, it was all anybody was talking about. Everybody had seen it, everybody had sang its praises. It was made out to be this big sci-fi masterpiece that was a life-changing experience and a 10 out of 10 movie that was unlike anything that had ever come out before. And while yes, the tech is cool and I can appreciate how revolutionary it was for the time, I really wish as much focus and care was put into the characters and the story itself. And it especially confuses me when we got The Dark Knight the year before Avatar, and it was this big, incredible blockbuster feat that has gone down in history as one of the best films ever made. I mean, personally, I don't even think Avatar was the best sci-fi film to release in 2009. For me personally, that award goes to District 9, which not only put a creative spin on its narrative and told its story in such a unique way, but visually it is just as impressive as Avatar, if not more impressive, especially with it being done on such a low budget. Shit, I mean, in the same year we got Moon, which is another underrated sci-fi masterpiece, again done on a smaller budget. Do I think Avatar lives up to all of the hype? No. Absolutely not. But at the same time, I would say that Avatar is both overrated and overhated. This movie is completely fine. It's inoffensive, it plays it very safe, it is very vanilla. It's not that exciting to talk about or watch from a story perspective, but I am hoping that the sequel can lean more into telling an engaging story, since we are now familiar with this world and it has laid the groundworks for the planet of Pandora and these characters. Personally, I'm going to be giving Avatar a 6 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Like, subscribe, and all that YouTube stuff. And what is your opinion on the first Avatar? I'd love to know.